Good morning, friends. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a good week. And we are here at Sports Fan Outreach, that's for sure. Man, what a great weekend by all accounts at the Kentucky Derby. Amazing opportunity there with everybody. It was a wonderful time by all accounts. And next Monday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have the team leaders, most team leaders and me and Bobby McCrary, the event leader, on talking about it, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, you can watch these videos later. But what it sounded like an amazing trip. I heard about probably one for sure, probably two people, best derby ever. And sounds like the fellowship was really good and all those good things that make the derby what it is. Hey, if you've never seen 140,000 people come out of the Churchill Downs within a couple hours and they've been drinking all day, it's quite a sight. So, hey, man, can't wait to hear about it next Monday at 3:30 p.m. But thanks to all the 29 evangelists that went to the Kentucky Derby, and sound like they had a good time. If you click on the link, let's see. What can I do? There it is. Okay, I'm going to put the link on here. Over time, we will start to gather the reports, and they'll be on this page. So just check it out over time. You can see what went on. And I'm not sure how this works. Too much complication here. Too much complication. Anyway, great time. Praise the Lord. You know what? I was thinking, where were you at? I think we were in the draft. And we were there at the draft. And for me at least, and this is the way life works. When you hear stories of history or people tell a story, they tell the dramatic, the climactic. Oh, you should have seen this one thing, especially since we're on sports, the one catch or the one swing or whatever. And, we get trained to sort of be interested in the one thing. But really, life is far more day-to-day, grinded out. And, without launching into a sermon about sports, like the one catch makes the possible team win because of all the other things they've done, the boring, just playing the game stuff they do every day. And then you have the one heroic catch. And so that's how that works. So really, gospel preaching, open air preaching ministry is really a day-to-day, grinded out process. And the reason I'm saying that, why that's so important, is so you get your expectation right. And you know what success is. You know what a fruitful ministry is. Fruitful ministry is not an explosion of sinners crying out, what must we do to be saved? A fruitful ministry is a constant, consistent sowing and watering of the word. An evangelist, a minister of the gospel should be found faithful. And when you get that definition right, that our job is to be faithful and our job is simply to sow and water, but God gives the increase, then you can have a right understanding. And when you come back and you tell the stories, and really the story for all of us is faithfulness. The guys that are faithful, another faithful day. Now from that platform, that foundation of faithfulness, we tell a couple stories until people get bored. And so that's to me the way it works. So now we got a platform, a foundation of faithfulness. And now we're going to talk about the Kentucky Derby. And one of those explosive moments that is there, that is a good, a very unique ministry opportunity is there because of the faithfulness of the 29 evangelists over 2 days. That unique thing is when everybody comes out after the Kentucky Derby runs on late Saturday. And that's why we tell that story. But what makes that story so powerful is the pounding away, the grinding it out, the sowing the water that began Friday at 8 a.m. through the Kentucky Oaks on Friday, 8 p.m., and then Saturday, 8 a.m. through this year, 9 p.m. That is the context of the story. And so that's why these things are exciting, and I'm excited to look forward to hearing it. So great, praise the Lord. We had that at the draft. We just pressed on there in Las Vegas. 3 days, 7 hours a day. Seriously, preaching nonstop in the same two places, right by the right by where they closed off the street, right there at the front of the Bellagio. And I was looking over at Larry Helmuth, man. His face was red. He was getting burned. He just kept pressing on. I said, man, hey, this is it. It just, this is it. It doesn't have to be a riot for it to be a good day of preaching. What's a good day of preaching is sowing and watering the word. So we had a good day at the draft too. I'm gonna tell you, 7 hours. That's a long time. 12 hours at the Derby, 7 at the draft, 4 or 5 of us on the team, and that's a long time to be out there and stand on your feet and push forward after 3 days of that. And then, typically speaking, we stay at places that we can deal with it for a couple, 3 days maybe, but after about 4 or 5 days, about 3 or 4 days in a place we don't really know very well, it's kind of loud, and we get out of routine. All that combination begins to wear you down. But and so 3 good days, 7 hours a day in Las Vegas is we were there for the whole draft, and that was a good run. But we were worn out, man. I got to tell you, I was worn out. I came home back to the Eastern time zone. Going out west is such a hassle. I'd rather go to London any day and go 5 hours ahead of time there, and then come home. When I come home from London, I'm not nearly as worn out as when I go out west to California, and Las Vegas is on Pacific time. So I was worn out, but we had a great time. 3 days, 7 hours a day, sowing and watering, hammering away at it. So, we had a great couple of times. We had a great last 2 weekends, that's for sure. Then coming up, it's going to be a busy summer again. What I'm trying to do here on these updates is here's what just happened. Here's what's coming in the future, hopefully to encourage you, motivate you, entice you, if you will, to come out and join us at an upcoming event. Memorial Day weekend, we're going to do the link's not on there, but I want to mention it. Brad Madewell is leading the charge in Chattanooga to go to the Riverbend Festival. And I think Mark Yoho and some of the guys from North Georgia are going to come up. Ilo will be there for 3 nights. So that should be fun. There's a link on the website about that. Also, Terry Kahia is going to go spend 2 days at the Bonnaroo Music Fest, which is in Manchester, Tennessee. I believe he said Joshua Richards coming down. So those are 2 events coming up. And then we have the George Whitfield training, June 20 to 24. And what we're doing there, if you've never heard this before, is it's a time to take a week aside, take 5 days, and sit still and really sort of get recharged, so to speak. And we do 2 things there during those 5 days. One is Heath Putzel teaches Keep Your Finger in the Text. This summer, this June 2024, he's teaching the book of Proverbs, how to teach and preach out of the book of Proverbs. And I'm going to teach track 1, which is basically this transitional steps for you to make to become full-time. So the Whitfield, I'm calling it the Fellowship Conference now, the Summer Fellowship Conference, because we'll likely have a Winter Fellowship Conference as well. But a Summer Fellowship Conference is for men who either want to be in the program or men who want to either learn biblical exposition or have an interest in becoming full-time. Now, biblical exposition with Heath's track, you could be a pastor, you could be a layman, you could be a teacher, you could be a missionary. It could be really anything out there, but we're going to teach expository preaching. If that's what you want to learn, I'd love to have you. And likewise, we're going to talk about some fundamentals of making the transition to full-time work, but the principles are probably fairly universal if you're going to do mission work. So even there, you're a missionary, you're a guy, you want to do mission work, and you're trying to figure out how to get funded and all those family things. Come on! I think you'll benefit from it. Also, as I'm personally the chairman of the board of REF, a Foreign Evangelistic Fellowship, and so if you want to be a missionary, then I want to encourage you to come and join us as well. I would love to have you come and sit on what I'm teaching there in track 1, the Summer Fellowship Conference, to get you ready to go full time in the mission world. And then if you've already dialogued with Clint and Josh and the guys up there in Bristol, I'd still love to have you come down and give you the training on the fundraising, ministry partner development, and the transition in your life. So let me know. Amen. Then we got 2 events in the States in July. well, 3, I think. Baseball All-Star, July 16 to 19, 16, 17, 18, 19. I believe Matthew Rodon is going to go out there and preach for 4 days and work with them and organize that. So MLB All-Star, Los Angeles, California. And then also Tim Hanley and Jason McGow are leading the Gospel Invasion Myrtle Beach again, August 4 to 7. And the same time frame is Ben Grady is leading the Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, Tennessee. Personally, I'm going to go to the Commonwealth Games, Lord willing, in Birmingham, England, the United Kingdom. There's 4 of us going right now. Doc Shank told me he might go. There's 5. We got room for 3 more, 8 total. I'd love for you to go. If you got a passport and want to go to the United Kingdom, man, it's the best. I love it over there. As I've said 1,000 times, the cities over there. So once you get out of London, you get into the other cities. Now there's 2.5 million people in Birmingham, England, but they have city centers, and city centers are designed for people to come downtown and walk around. It's not a big car country like the United States. It's not like that at all. And so in these city centers, there's a ton of foot traffic in general. And we saw this, and I think we're in Peterborough, and we've seen it in a small city like Southampton. I've seen it in Edinburgh and Glasgow in Scotland and Wales over there. So Cardiff, Wales. So it's the same process. They have the cities laid out, so it generates a lot of foot traffic. So that plus tons of thousands of folks coming in for the Commonwealth Games, which is like a Olympics for the old British Empire. It's going to be a good time. So we've got 3 spots, maybe 4. Contact me if you want to go. Contact me if you want to go. Contact me if you want to go. There you are, man. That's where that went. Anyway, so come on and join us. David Day, what a faithful soul. I think ministry with David is probably it's what you might call a contact sport. But he is definitely a faithful evangelist in Montgomery, Alabama. And David loves going to London. I love going to London, man. We're going to go to London in the fall. NFL London, we finally got the NFL to give us a schedule. So here's the way NFL London works. What drives us over there is NFL's playing 2 games on Sunday, October the 2nd, and a week later on October the 9th in Twickenham Stadium. We've been there a couple times before. It's a really good location, a good setup. But in between those days, we'll preach throughout the city of London. We're going to preach 10 days straight, like we normally do, 6 to 8 hours a day, and just preach all over the cities, what we like to do. And we've actually, it's probably we've got a list. I'll get on the website of 20 good preaching locations in London. I mean, listen. We got room for 10. We got 10 rooms reserved. I think there's 6 of us going already. Got room for 4 more. But look, if you want to go, we'll work something out somehow. So because it's just worthwhile. Anyway, 10-day preaching in London, England. 8 million people, just like Birmingham. They don't ride the car. They don't drive cars over there. David can tell you, they ride the tube and they walk. It's not like everybody's walking miles, 5 miles where they're going. The tube is so extensive in the city of London. The subway is. That it just covers all the areas, and all you got to do is just get on a tube right across town. It's pretty amazing. It's amazing the tube is that old, but for us, it creates a lot of foot traffic, and it's worth it, man. The games, while they are the instigator for us to go, they're probably very secondary to why we go. But when we're over there for the games, as a matter of fact, then we're going to pick up a lot of fans coming to the games, probably a lot of American fans that go over there following their team. So the big idea at Sports Fan Outreach, which I try to communicate at the draft of this gentleman filming, is that through our Sports Fan Outreach 1000 program, there's an evangelist like David at every local home or college football game, in this case of football. So David goes to Auburn. I go to UT when I can. And so, Tim Ferguson went to the Falcons games last year, stuff like that. So when we're somewhere else and their fans are there, like at, let's say the Falcons, they're not playing this year. That's right, some people all across the world. Yeah, so then we catch those fans. So, like, I honestly don't remember who's playing. I think the Giants and the Packers are playing. And that means, like if Heath Putzel and Dan Davis went to London with us, they're going to catch Packer fans, some of them over there, and just reinforce the message. And that, to me, is an amazing phenomenon that those guys would, leave, in this case, Green Bay, come over there and all of a sudden go, hey, aren't you the guys from the Green Bay games? And so it's an amazing opportunity. So that's the big idea of what we try to do here, preach the gospel on the ground in our local professional NBA, NHL teams, MLB, and pro and college football, and then catch those fans wherever they're at somewhere else. The Gospel Net, the Sports Fan Outreach, Gospel Net. And then in London, too, like David said, like we've been preaching up at Trafalgar, at Piccadilly Circus, we got this big fountain. We meet Christians from Western Europe that'll come up and say, hey, great, glad you guys are here. It's just so phenomenal. You're in kind of the mini Times Square there in the center of London. The people coming up, man, it's just another world. You know, you meet foreign people over here. That's one thing. You meet them over there, it seems far more real that they're foreign and you're meeting there on somebody else's turf, so to speak. I just love it. I absolutely love going over there. If I could have my way, I'd spend more time over there in London, England. Anyway, man, hey, it's great. So check those links out on the post here. Hopefully they are there, and keep looking. See if there's anything else. You know, we're also, Sports Fan is trying to be we've made an application to be a registered charity in Canada. We're already one in the UK. And Canada, what we want to do here is to operate as an organized entity within the country, as opposed to just a bunch of Americans rolling in and preaching. And I guess for whatever reason, I thought that gives us a better standing when we interact with people, and it helps us recruit people. This is really, for the UK especially, this is the year with the Commonwealth Games coming up, and just in general for Sports Fan, we really want to dig in deeper to the church and the Christian community in there. We've interacted a lot in 12 years. We started going there in 2012 to preach for the Olympics, and been going a lot, probably once or twice on average every year since then. So I've interacted with a lot of people over the years. But anyway, what we really want to do is interact as an organized entity with the church community in the United Kingdom, now in Canada. And just our first event in Canada, where I think we're going to be able to get in without having to get vaccine shots, is the Grey Cup, which is November 16 to 20 in Regina, Saskatchewan, and which is, Canada is a huge place, which is basically north of South Dakota. But Michael Rutherford, a friend of a friend through Bobby McCrary, is actually running with us a little bit, talking it up, getting some people excited. So, hey, long term, put on your calendar, Regina, Saskatchewan, November 16 to 20, and get you some warm clothes. And we'll go up there and preach together up there. I think that could be very, very exciting. Super Bowl, while we're on the topic, and then we'll be done, hopefully 20 minutes here. Phoenix, Arizona. Lord willing, by Memorial Day weekend, I'll start talking to potential team leaders, and we'll get rolling. Potential team leaders will get rolling. I'm excited about it. It may take a little different feel this year. Phoenix is a good city. It's not a great city. It's a good city downtown for gospel preaching. The stadium is frankly mediocre. But downtown, man, it's a good spot. And we've been there a lot. And so we're pretty familiar. What we got to do is find some accommodations. And that's the key to Phoenix, Arizona. Anyway, keep your ears open for that. Listen, friends, contact me. With questions or event inquiry. All right. Please. Woo! Hallelujah, man. And let's keep preaching. Hey, life is but a vapor. Let's get out there and preach the gospel. See you next time.